Okay. We have started on YouTube, and now we're activating Facebook. FaceDaf live with our 10,000 viewers and subscribers. Not really. Okay. Basra. And this is going to be Daf Yud. It's a major one. Okay, here we go. And go live. So now we are live on iSpeak and YouTube. And, okay. Daf Yud, this is Bava Basra. Daf Yud. It's a long one. It's a Gadata. It's been a long day. We're gonna do this. 3, 2, 1, and blast off. Zokt the Gemara. Right now I'm in the bottom of Testament base, second line from the bottom. Someone who typically is used to doing tzedakah. Havyan leibanim ba'alei chachma. He has children, sons who have wisdom, ba'alei osher, and wealth, ba'alei agada, and knowing medrash. Interesting order. Ba'alei chachma d'chsev. Somebody. Well, actually, no. Ba'alei chachma. Wise sons d'chsev. Someone who chases staka. Yimtza chayim. He will find life. And Rashi says, Yimtza chayim d'chsev. Gabi chachma ki mitzei motza chayim. He who finds me finds life. Bali Osher d'chsev tzedakah, they'll find tzedakah. And Bali Agada d'chsev v'chavoid, and honor. Bali Agada zak Rashi, ksev hacha v'kavoid d'chsev hasam, kivoid, kavoid chacham im yinchalo. Bali Agada d'chsein darshan, and umesh ch'nesalev akol mechab d'naisam. Ouch. It's saying that people who can give, people who can say vertlach, people who say Q vertlach, they're the ones who get the covenant. Tanya, Ebi Meir Aimer, Yesh the Baal Hadin La Shivcha, V'Leimer Lach, the Baal Hadin, the opponent. Rashi says, Rasha Evekechavim, he could argue La Shivcha V'Leimer Lach and say to you, Imelei Kechem Eyev Aniyim Hu, if your God loves the poor so much, Mipnei Ma'enim Mefarneson, why doesn't he, give them what they need? Amar Lai, say to him, it's for us to be saved through them from Gehenna. There's chus to give tzedakah to them. Turnus Rufus Arash as Rabbi Akiva. But Turnus Rufus asked Rabbi Akiva, Amar lei, Frekton Ashuvas Rabbi Akiva Aderab. It's the opposite. Zu Shemachai Vasam the Gehenim, giving tzedakah to the poor should be deemed bad and condemn someone to Gehenim. It's comparable to Melech Basav Dam Shekos Al Avda. It's like a king was angry at his servant, and locked him in jail. Don't give him anything to eat or drink. And someone went and gave this condemned prisoner food and drink. Would the king not be angry? And y'all are called slaves. So you are God's servants, and when God deprives someone of food or drink, then that's because God is saying he doesn't deserve it. So it should be a bad thing to help him. Rabbi Akiva says, counter parable. And a king imprisoned his son. And he officially commanded not to give him food or drink. But someone went and did it, which is really, we're saying, what the king would have wanted. Would the king not give a great reward to this person? And then Korean Banim, we are called sons. Omar Lloyd and his Rufus won't stop. Atem Korean Banim, Korean Avadim, you're called sons and slaves. When you do God's will, you are sons. When you're not doing God's will, you're not sons. Now you're not doing God's will, so you're not sons. You are slaves, and therefore my muscle wins, and you're bad for giving tzedakah. Omar lo, give bread to the poor, and bring kvetchen aniyim into your home. When is it that we're stuck hosting complainers? That would be you Romans. So tzedakah is still relevant, even when we are Kriyim Avadim, and it's a good thing. Period. Darash Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Shalom. Same way, a person's sustenance is decided from Rosh Hashanah. The things that he's going to lose are also set up. So Rashi Scharshis, Parnis Mimano, Chasanaitz Efsid Shasid Lahafsid, Zachor, Rashi says the Mazel Tov, Vitinai Say Chashananiam. So Zach, if the person did it right, then Halay first Lorev Lachmecha, then he'll end up, right? It was decreed that he lose a certain amount of money, but he'll go to tzedakah. But if he's not Zeich, he'll end up losing it on complaining oppressors, really, meaning it says the poor, but it's the Gemara is taking this as a reference to Romans. Like the story, Ben Zakkai's nephews, you saw they were going to lose 700 dinar. So Rashi, is it b'mitzay Yom Kippurim or b'mitzay Rosh Hashanah? No, the Bach changes it. If it's b'mitzay Yom Kippurim, it would be going on the Gzer for the next year, I would think. So he put pressure on them. And Shakal Minaya Litzdaka, Shakal Minaya Kalashana Kaifa Midvarim gave me and Tzedakah. Posh Gabayu Shivsar Dinri. They ended up, out of the 700 he had been trying to get them to give, there were 17 that they hadn't given yet. Kimata Mali Kipuri, when it was Erev Yom Kippur. And it seems that there's some sort of overlap of Aseres Tshuva, which works very nicely with Yal ben Nun. Shadur, the Bekesar Nakteno, the Caesar's house took it. Pashkabai of Rosh Hashanah. Now Rashi says Rosh Hashanah. The Marsha is going to change it to Yom Kippurim. That's what it says. Pashkabai of Rosh Hashanah. Shivsar Me'adinin. I skipped some Rashi. Medin Rosh Hashanah Shakal Tzedakah Minayik Lashon Yekav Midvarim V'Gav Min Tzedakah Pashkabai of Rosh Hashanah Shivs Din Shlei Nas L'Tzedakah Shlei Nasnu L'Tzedakah Mishva Me'adinri. Omar lo. So the Caesar's household seized 17 dinar. Omar lo. Ben Zakkai. So Ben Zakkai said to them, "Loi tidchalun, fear not. Loi tidchalun mifsad yes, you're not going to lose anymore. Shivsar dinri gabaychu. There was 17 that was still by you. Shaklin minayich. That's what they took." Amrli said, "Mino yadata. How do you know this?" Amrli said, "Chalma chazay lechu. I saw this in a dream." Amrulay. So his nephew said to Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Ve'amalei amrit lo denisvinahu. Why didn't you tell us about it? We would have given the full amount. Amalei amrit lo mitchilo shkach cholamta ve'inu neisnin kulon. Amar lahu, he said to them, Amina, I said, I wanted you to do the mitzvah not for ulterior reasons. Rav Papa v'solik b'darga. Rav Papa was ascending a ladder. Ishtamid kare, his foot slipped. And bo'i lemepal, and bo'i would literally mean he wanted. He didn't want to fall, but he kimat fell. Hashvei vayvakesh hamisai. Cholash daite, his spirit sank. Omar, he said, Hashta Cain, now if it had happened this way, Ichayev man desani lon k'mechale shabbosais u'chayev de'avodas kechavim. Hashta Cain, im nefalti, had I fallen, I would have gotten skila. But he didn't want to say about him. He was talking about himself, but didn't want to say it. So he said, Ichayev man desani, the one who hated us, would have been chayev. K'adam shed like he's speaking it euphemistically. Mechale shabbos kechavim zakt Rashi beskila, punishable by stoning. And what is that? Plummeting from a height. V'amar mar mish chayev skila. Someone who is chayev skila but isn't actually getting it. I know minagag. He might fall from a roof. Or he might get what's the word? Doirace. It's an animal getting him. Like that. The dami l'skila, that's not basis skila yigavayish nekaimitz v'choles. Our papa was disturbed. Amar lei Chia barav midifti l'Rav Papa. So Chia barav midifti said to Rav Papa, Shama anibal yadchav lei prenasasai. Maybe you didn't actually do something that bad, but what happened was that there was someone who needed tzedakah and you didn't give him. The Tanya, in a brisa, Rabbi Shua ben Karchaim, someone who averts his eyes from charity. It's as if he served idols. He's shamer lecha ben yedavar in vavachav liyal. To say, I don't want to lend money because it's going to become a gift. That's by Ernie Tachas. When Israel in this world do tzedakah and chesed, it brings great peace and praklitin gedoylin between Israel and their father and praklitin. Angels urging good on our behalf. Shenemar koyamar adinoi al tovoi beis marzeach val telech l'spoid val tanud lahem ki osafti eshlemi miso mazeh v'goymer esach chesed v'sorachamim chesed zugmas chasodim rachamim zut staka. I'm removing my peace from this nation. It's because they used to do chesed and rachamim that I had shalom with them. Tanya Rabbi Yehuda Mergedel Tzedakah Shemikoreves Esageula. Charity hastens redemption. Shneimar Kayamar Adinoi Shimru Mishpat Vasud Tzedakah Ki Kreva Yeshua Silavoi V'Tzidkah Si V'Higaloi Stu Tzedakah. My salvation will come soon. Who I am, as far as from Kashmir Rubai, he, Rabbi Yehuda would say there are 10 strong, harsh things in the world that can each get each other. Har Kasha, mountain, bedrock is solid, firm, but Barzel Machatre, but iron can cut it. Barzel Kasha, iron is hard. Eish Mefafai, yet fire can soften it. Mefafai Merakachai, Ish kasha. Fire is strong. Mayim mechaber, say water can extinguish it. Mayim kashim avim seifel, my son. Here's the thing that's getting interesting. Water is strong, and yet the clouds can contain it. Avim kashim, clouds then are mighty. But ruach mefazra, sun, wind can scatter them. Ruach kasha, the wind is strong. Guf soivlei, but the body can also contain it. We have cavities within us that we are able to, like sinuses, that we're able to keep the air within them. The human body is strong, yet fear can shatter it. So fear is strong, but wine can dispel it. Yain kasha, wine is strong. Shina mifach kasai. That sleep can, make it go away. There's probably a cooler word than that. Pakach. Dissolves. Alleviates. Umisa kasha mikulam. That escalated quickly. Death is the harshest of all of them. Or umisa kasha, or mishena. Mishena. Tzedakah matzelis min misa. And tzedakah, this is the punchline. Tzedakah can save from the hardest thing, death. Tzedakah tatzil mimaves. Darshan, we destroy Rabbi Yanai, destroy son of Yanai. Darshan, boy, you re'esh, like min ha'kadosh baruch hu min his basar v'dam. Hashem is not like an earthly king. Midas basar v'dam. Mother maybe during gadol melech. If you bring a gift to the king, well, you might not get accepted. Safek mekablan, I say amen. Safek mekablan, I say amen. No guarantee he's going to accept it. Even if it's accepted. Safek rayib b'nei melech, safek ein rayib b'nei melech. He wouldn't necessarily get an audience with the king. Hashem is not like that. If someone gives a coin to a poor man, he's guaranteed a divine audience. I through righteousness I shall see thine face. I will be sated. Awaken thy visage. But if it's tzedek, betchila v'achakach echzeh fanecha betfila. Es b'vahakitz munasecha b'schar hakitza es batmunasecha. So I was translating v'hakitz as when awakened, which I would think is the pasuk pshat in the pasuk, but it looks like we're darshaning it. We're talking about being kaitsev tzedakah. That's what it would seem. Maybe that Rashi is on the Gemara Vayter. Rabbi Elazar Yoav Prutlani V'Adar Matzi. Rabbi Elazar would get tzedakah before davening. Amar, he said. The other Rashi was also going on this. Ksiv ani v'tzedek echzef anecha. B'tzedek first, and then echzef anecha b'tfilah. That's what Rashi is going on. My esbal v'hakitz t'munasecha. What does that mean? Esbal v'hakitz t'munasecha. B'schar hakitza esbal t'munasecha. And the schar of being awake, I will be sated with thine visage. Shout out to me. I'm tired, but I'm doing that for you. These are Torah scholars who push sleep away from their eyes in this world. And God sates them. The Holy One, blessed be He, sates them with the radiance of the Shekhinah in the next world. The lender of Hashem is the one who favors the poor. Back in the Gemara, Kiviyachal. We say that that's another pasuk that the one who has been lent to is like an eved to the one who lent money to him. And now we're saying that about Hashem, that you're malve Hashem when you're chenin dal. Yipes. Rabbi Chiya bar Abba brought down that Rabbi Yochanan Rami, or Mr. Shas brings in the Gersa from the Yalkut and the Yaakov that it's Rabbi Chiya bar Abba Rabbi Yochanan. It's not a stira. There's one pasuk. The first pasuk says, right, wealth will not help on the day of rage, and charity saveth from deatheth. The storehouses from evil will not help, but charity shall saveth from deatheth. Why are we talking about tzedakah saving from death twice? What's this repetition? I want to save someone from an unnatural death. One saving him from being judged in Gehenna. So which is the one which pasuk is referring to being saved from Gehenna? The one that mentions Evra, the day of wrath. Turning the page to Daf Yod Amud Beis, which is the one that saves from an unnatural, untimely death. Oh, we're no longer talking about a pasuk now. We're talking about the way to do it. The giver doesn't know who the getter is, and the getter doesn't know who the giver is. You add it to the charity fund, but it's not something that you know where it's going. Giving but not knowing who it's going to. As opposed to Mar Ukva. Story elsewhere. The getter doesn't know who he's getting it from. Rashi explains, Rav Ukva Rabbi Abba Memeseches Ksubos Mar Ukva V'Shadi La'anya D'Shivu Sekal Yomar Ba'Zuzi B'Tzinar D'Dash Sharish Ani Yedei Midnight Love Yedei Nice Na. Mar Ukva would make coins go shooting down the gutter drain pipe, and the Ani didn't know where it was coming from, but the giver, Mar Ukva, he knew, and Rabbi Abba v'Tzayir b'Sudrei v'Shtadi La'Achari Umanti Nafshe L'Beini Ani Evani Night L'Vedei Night L'Vedei L'Minos Na. Rabbi Abba did the exact opposite. He would walk around just spilling coins by the poor. They knew it was coming from him, but the ideal is that it should be completely anonymous on both ends, double blind. How should you do it? Put it in a pushka. Banim Zacharim. Yes, how do we do that? Give tzedakah to the poor. Rabbi Shoimer Yisamach Ishtay Bidvar Mitzvah should gladden his wife. Rashi says Lidvar Bidvar Mitzvah L'fnei Tashmish. Rabbi Eliezer ben Yaakov Eimer Leitin Adam Prutalarnik Yishlot Staka Elim Kemimuna Lek Rabbi Chananya ben Tradion. Whoa! That a person should not give tzedakah to a fund to be distributed unless the person in charge of the fund is like someone who's going to make sure it goes to the proper place. Like you have someone like Rabbi Chiya bar Rabbi Chananya ben Tradion on it, which Gemara answers, Ki Karminan. So when are we saying to do that also? Also, Dimani Allah Rabbi Chananya ben Tradion. In terms of honesty. Amar Rabbi Avo, Amar Ma'ishtev Nekadosh Baruch Hu. Moshe said before Hashem, Rebbeinu Shalayla, B'matarum Karen Yisrael. How shall Israel's horn be raised? That's a metaphor. Amar Lai B'chisisa Esraish. It's the lifting of the head. Amar Lai B'chisisa Imbasa Las Esraisham B'Hagbah. If you want to raise their heads high, Kach Am Kaifer L'Tzedakah. They should give charity as an atonement. They asked Salomon ben David, right? King Shlomo, how far does the strength of tzedakah go? And he said, my Pirish David Abba. See what my father David said. Pizar nosan lo evyoinim tkasayim hedes lo al karnoi torum b'chavoid. Rabbi Abba Amrei Acha Miraymim Yishkai Mitzadai Slaim Miskava. He will dwell on heights, the rock fortresses, his stronghold. Why? It sounds like he gave bread, his waters were faithful. What's the reason the person merits this protection? Because he gave his bread and his water was faithful to give to the poor. Again Rabbi Avo, again about asking Shlomo. They asked King Solomon, is Ben Olam Haba? Who is someone who is a Ben Olam Haba? This is not one of those exciting stories, is it? No. My lamb kol shekeneged zekain of kavod. Someone who receives, Rashi says, those who receive honor in this word for their wisdom is a ben olam haba. Let's see how that fits. Where's the Bach? Where's the Bach? Here he is. Rav Yosef, Rabbi Yeshua, Cholash, he grew weak. Ingid, he perished, died, and came back. Amalei, his father said, my chazis, what did you see? Amalei said to him, I saw an inverted world. El yoinim lamata, the high ups low, v'sachtainim lamala, and the low ones on high. Amalei, he said to him, his father said to him, Rabbi Yeshua said to his son Rabbi Yosef, you didn't see an upside inverted world. You saw the world straight, clearly. He said to him, what about us? Which direction did we go? Or asinon. Amalei. So Rav, who is this again? Rav Yosef said to his father Rabbi Yeshua, the same way that we are chashav are considered here, we are considered there. The way we are chashav here, there too. And I heard that they would say, Shamati shehayu oimerim, shehayu oimerim, ashrei mi shebo lekan v'talmudoi beyadoi. The song ends here. V'shamati shehayu oimerim, haruge malchus ein kol brihiyah. Shamati shehayu oimerim, shehayu oimerim, haruge malchus In kol biri yichol l'lamed bim chitzason. Those killed by Kiddush Hashem, they are on such a high level that no creature can stand in their zone in the next world. Correct the Gemara. My ninu, who is this Haruge Malchus? If you're talking about Rabbi Akiva v'Chaveirav, the great Chachamim who died al Kiddush Hashem, Haruge Malchus, Mishum Haruge Malchus v'Sulai. But the reason that they're epically above is because they died al Kiddush Hashem. So Drash Haruge Malchus v'Sulai. Klemar Hachmilsa l'chudu d'Avibush. Nergo Kiddush Hashem v'Sulai havabahu. Pshita b'lavachinami, right? Their great righteousness and scholarship. Ela rugelod. Rugelod, Rashi says, Lulinus upapus achem. Lulinus and Papus, the brothers, shehargam to Rhinus harasha. Beludkia, can I mean, Tainis I think there's an Israel Yisrael Hashmit. Ashtim Tes Bas Melech Haruga V'chosh to Yisrael Alev Amdu Achmal Alav Amru Malach HaYisrael Anar Agnu. Two non-Jewish brothers, it sounds like, who scapegoated themselves for a crime that was being blamed on the Jews and saving the Jews in the process. And for that, they are epically above in the next world, the Gemara says. Tanya, then Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai leTalmidav. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said to his Talmidim, Bonai, my sons, Maush Amra Kosov. What is it that the pasuk says? Tzedakah teremim gai. Charity elevates a nation. V'chesed le'umim chatos. And the kindness of the nations is a sin. Nan Rabbi Eliezer v'Amar. So Rabbi Eliezer spoke up to answer Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Nan Rabbi Eliezer v'Amar. Tzedakah teremim gai. Tzedakah elevates the nation. Which nation? The Jews. Eli Yisrael. T'chsev mika amcha Yisrael gai echad ba'aretz. So we have a pasuk saying gai about Yisrael. V'chesed le'umim chatos. That the kindness of the nations. Kol tzedakah v'chesed shumasayu ayvdeket chav ma'isen chetu lahen she'ena ma'isen ela lisgadel bai. K'moshe nemar. Di lihavun me'akev v'nichaychen le'lah shemayu mitzalyon l'chayei malka uvnai. So the kindness of the nations is chatos, a sin. The kindness of the nations is considered a sin because we are right now on Daf Yod Amud Beis, around halfway down, and we're talking about the pasuk, which is Tzedakah teremim gai v'chesed le'umim chatos. So this is what Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai asked his students what it was, and Rabbi Eliezer said that Tzedakah teremim gai, that Tzedakah elevates Bnei Yisrael. V'chesed le'umim chatos, but the kindness of the nations is a sin because they're doing it only for their own benefit, as evidenced in this pasuk, which I'm guessing is in Ezra. Let's see. Where is this pasuk? Yes. Correct the Gemara. You're saying that like it's a bad thing. Isn't that pure tzedakah? The Atanya, we learn in the Brisa, someone says, Sela. Zulit tzedakah b'shvil sheyichyu b'anai. Someone's giving tzedakah so that his sons should live. B'shvil she'ezket le'lam ha'abor, to merit the next world. Harizit tzaddik gamor. He is a pure tzaddik. Really, that was easy. Rashi explains in this mitzvah, he did it perfectly. Tzaddik gamor al devar zeh u'machshava zeh. Like Kasha. Kan be Yisrael, kan be'vekechavim. Well, that was easy, but what's going on? We're saying that for Yisrael to do that is a tzaddik gomer, but not for Evekechavim. Zatrashi kam Yisrael kam v'kam be'Evekechavim. Yisrael daitin l'shamayim ben yicha ben la'yechya. We're saying for a Jew that they're giving tzedakah. It's not just. It's not about the outcome. And Einai Maharer Acher Midas Hadeh, and he's not going to ask for a refund if he doesn't get what he wanted. Aval Akum in a nice and Ella Manas Ken Vim Lav Mischaret. Nan Rabbi Yeshua Amar. Rabbi Yeshua now speaks up to say to Rabbi Yechim and Zaka his pshat in the pasuk. Tzedakah Tremim Goy Eli Yisrael L'chsev Mikam Chesel Goy Echad. Same as Rabbi Eliezer so far. The Chesed L'umim Chatos called Tzedakah the Chesed Shemes Oim Teike Chavim Eisen. They're doing it, why? So that their empires last. So Rashi, no Rashi yet. I'm trying to think. The first pasuk was to make themselves look good, and we're asking, and with the pasuk that we at least gadel bahen. But the pasuk we're bringing over there is that they should do better. They should succeed. Here it's about their malchus extending. It sounds very similar to Rabbi Eliezer. Shenemar lehein malka. We have this already in Daniel. To you, my king, milki shpara alayich or Allah, and my words should be pleasing to you. V'chatayach your sin b'tzedakah proig, redeem it through charity. V'avayasach, anything you've done wrong. V'mechananiyan, through favoring the poor. And t'avi archa l'shalvasech. Look, we're doing this will extend your serenity. Okay. Now Rabban Gamliel is answering the question of Rabbi Yechon ben Zakkai. Tzedakah tirayim goy. Tzedakah elevates the nation. Eli Yisrael, the Chsiv Mikam Yisrael. The Gamer. V'chesed lemim chatos. Kol tzedakah v'chesed she'akum oisen. Chetulen she'inetz nelolis yoyer boy. Tzedakah of the nations is a chet. They're doing it for vanity. And be prideful. And those who are vain like that fall into Gehenna. Shnemar Zayd Yahir Lates Shema Yisei Sebevras Zadain. So we have Yahir, the haughty scoffer, willful, doing sin with Evra. Vein Evra Gehenim Shnemar Yim Evra Yemo. Rabban Gamliel said. That's interesting because Rabban Gamliel just said something. So Rashi Yim Evra Yemo B'Yem Adin Mishtay Ben Nevuas Tzefanya. We still need the Modai one. He was from Mount Modai. What's that? What is Har HaModai? Let's ask the internet. Har HaModai. But caps lock was on, so I wrote Ver Venusgehe. Ver Venus Yeah, here we go. Har HaModai. It says it was near Yerushalayim. They're saying that it looks like the city Modi'in. Modai. Okay. Okay. So Mil says we still need Rabbi is it Eliezer or Elazar? What is his name? Rabbi Eliezer Modai Aimer. Tzedakah Tirayim Goy. Eli Yisrael the Chsiv Mikam Chesed Goy Echad. V'chesed l'umim chatos. Kol tzedakah v'chesed she'akum oisen chetu lehem. Tzedakah of the nations is actually a sin. Yipes. She'ein oisen ela l'charif eisanu boy. They're doing it to disgrace us. Shneimar v'yov v'yas adin loy gashed berki chatos. Sema adin loy v'lishmat emekay loy. V'yolachem adavar hazeh. It's happened because you sinned before Hashem, and that's why this has happened to you. When the chief executioner was exiling everyone, he said to Yirmiyah, Hashem did this to you because you sinned. So they're using their own righteousness to put down Yisrael. Punctuates the pasuk differently. Tzedakah Tureimim Goy V'Chesed. Tzedakah lifts the nation Yisrael, and kindness also lifts them. U'la'umim chatos, and the nations get sin. Amar lahem Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai Talmidah. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said to his student, "Tirin divrei bin Nechoni ben Hakana midvarai u'mitavrechem." I like what he says more than what I said and what you've said. What did he say? What did he say? The Gemara asked the Kasha, the Shiloh. So we see that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai also said something. What did he say? The Tanya was like the Brisa. Wow, that was nice. That the chesed le'umim chatos, the kindness of the nations, is like them bringing a carbon chatos as a kapara for them. Okay, we had already had Ifra Hormuz sending money for a mitzvah rabbah. They're declaring what that was. Again, Ifra Hormuz, image Shavar Malka, so King Shabur's mother, the queen. Ifra Hormuz is again sending 400. Well, let's say, what did she send? Shadra. She sent Shadra Arbimea. Didn't really look at Bi'ami. She sent 400 dinner to Bi'am for tzedakah. V'loi kabilnu. And he did not accept them. Shadra sinahu. Kamei de Rava. The kabilnu. Rava took it. Mishum shalim malchus. Shamar Bi'ami ikpir. Bi'ami, who didn't take it, didn't like that. Omar, less lay, what you don't hold, when their merits run out, then they can be broken. It's that they only break when you use up all this chuyas, and you're giving them more chuyas. It's, I think, comparing it to a reed which dries out, and then women just come and snap it off and burn it. Which is what we said before. Rabbi Ami Nami Mishum Shalim Malchus. Rabbi Ami also was coming. I see here, I wrote Ayin Yad Ramah. Not sure. Ayin Yad Ramah. They should have distributed them to Avdei Kechavim, so it wouldn't be such as chus. Plot twist, Rava gave it to Aniyim who were in Jewish. Rabbi Ami de Ekbed, who they see more kamei. Rabbi Ami got annoyed because he didn't know that. Okay. They say more kamei, Rabbi Ami. They didn't tell Rabbi Ami when they told him what had happened. They never finished the story that Rava had given it to Avdei Kechavim. They say, "Well, come here, Ami. Tlani have to get chav and chalkan Rava. Van after man the elder shadra Ami for Hormuz mitzvah Rava. Mishum shalim machas nami kablenu. They have shalei lechal tlani get chav. Das lignen das abriya. Is afil the dajish leve get chav. Havu b'maisum schalkes lani meing gneves das. Then Ami yadi shesol gilma farnis lani have to get chav. And remember mizachas get them farnis and lani have to get chav. And Yisam made darkei shalom. So Rashi is saying that in the story before earlier Gemara, where she gave it for a mitzvah Rava, they had to use it for pigeon shvuyim because that's what she said to do, and we gnevas das we forbidden even for somebody not Jewish. But here she's just here with tzedakah. Giving it to non-Jews is something that happens within the paradigm of tzedakah. Amru alav Binyamin Atzadik. Who's that? Tanya. Amru alav Binyamin Atzadik. I don't think it's the Shevet Binyamin, and it's not Harav Binyamin Finkel that they also call that. Yes, I'm on the Aleph. I'm at Aleph right now. I'm trying to get up to the Mishnah. He was in charge of a Pashka. A woman came during a famine. Rabbi, I need some sustenance. Amar, he said to her, he swore by the sacred service. There's nothing, I have no money left over here. Amar, he said to him, Rabbi, if you don't sustain me, then this woman and her 7 sons we're going to die. So he gave her money from his own personal account. After some time, he was sick for Dr. Lamus and was leaning towards death. The ministering angel said before the Holy One, blessed be he, the master of the world. You said, something sustains even one Jewish soul is like sustaining the entire world. And Binyamin HaTzadik, who sustained not just one, but this woman and her 7 sons, he should die. If immediately his bad decree of Binyamin HaTzadik was ripped up and he lived. Tana! It was taught, he was given another 22 years. Usually you see that with a connection to the Aleph Beis. I don't see that here. Tani Rabbanan, Maisa ben Munbaz Hamelech, King Munbaz. Munbaz Hamelech, Bonashe Hilni Amalkam Zerah Chashmainayim. Munbaz, son of Hilni. Shebiz Beis Eitzreisa Veitzav Veitzav Shtebet Seiras. That he. Oh man, what is there something that the billionaire pledge? Billionaire pledge, what's it called? The Giving Pledge. The Giving Pledge is a promise by the world's wealthiest individuals and families to dedicate the majority of their wealth to charitable causes. Okay. But so Munbaz gave away the family wealth for tzedakah at a time when it was needed. His family and his brothers, his family ganged up on him. They said to him, your fathers, stashed and accumulated more and added to what their fathers had. And you are just letting them go loose. He said to them, my father's stashed below, and I'm stashing above. Truth sprouts from the ground. Righteousness peeking down from the heavens. Nishkav mabik my nishkafa batia babe. Klemar chosat staka mabik mistakel limata. Avos I gone to b'makom sheyach letters, but my fathers stashed their money in a place where it could get gotten. Vani gonaz to b'makom sheyach letters, boy. Shnamar tzedek mishpat mechoin kisach. Tzedek is We say this pasuk on Leil Yom Kippurim in the introductory psukim. They stashed something which wasn't invested. It was just sat there. So what I did, I invested it in a way that gives returns. The righteous eat the fruits of their deeds. They're eating the fruits of it, while the main principle remains behind. And my father has stashed treasuries of money. And what I'm gathering together is lives. My father has stashed it for others and left it. But I'm using it. For you is the tzedakah. My father's stashed for this world. But I stashed it for the next world. Your tzedakah will go before you. Yasfecha. Okay. Okay. And one more little piska on the Mishnah before. Buying a house in the city means immediately, even though you haven't been there for a year, you're a resident in terms of helping pay for expenses. This is not like Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. It's not only if someone buys a house, even buying a small piece of land. We have another price which says, it's a kasha. If someone bought land that is ru'uya for a beis dira, that it's possible to live there, it's big enough. To which the Gemara says, yeah. You have two different traditions, what Rabbi Shimon Gamliel said. Either way, the Mishnah, it says he has to buy a house to qualify, is not going like either view in Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. Both of which say if you just bought land, the question is how big it would have to be. All right, that's the end for tonight. We went a little farther because tomorrow is Erev Shabbos. Mishnah Yud. All right, on Yud Aleph. Okay. Gewaltig. Shkayach. I'm gonna